Hey guys, last quick little video for the end of 2019. Managed to pick up a 77 JMP about a month ago, and so what we're going to do is go through the journey here, tell you a little bit about where it came from and what we've done to get it looking a little bit more Marshall-y. Look, it's definitely not looking like a proper JMP. Totally recognise all of that, and I'll talk you through why that is the case. So about a month ago came across an ad online for 77 JMP, and I'll show you the pictures. To say it was diabolically bad is pretty, a bit of an understatement. It was in a custom-made head shell. That was literally something that somebody put together in their backyard, just a few bits of wood and bang it together. It was looking absolutely terrible. Thankfully, it sounded good. So it did sound all right. The insides looked all right and reasonably clean. So I took a bit of a punt and picked it up really cheap. And yeah, I'll show you the videos in a couple of seconds of what we've uncovered and what we've cleaned up and what we've removed and so on, but you'll see the head shell is pretty terrible. It's been in the shop, it's had a bit of a service, and my tech Simon at 80s Guitars has very kindly found a head shell for me. So he's had an old head shell sitting around. I bought a Marshall logo online because it is a real Marshall, so I'm not, doing anything dodgy, I don't think there. And so yeah, it's pretty close to original specs now. We've got one tiny little mod on it. Simon was saying something about I'm going to get this wrong, like a 10K resistor or capacitor or something. I always get the two mixed up. Anyway, it's just a 10K thing that's in there that basically sort of gives it like a bit of a boost. So it's not a mid boost, it's not a bass boost or a treble boost or anything like that. It's just everything louder than everything else, which is sort of what you want. So anyway, let's have a look at where this thing came from, and we'll see you in a few minutes. I'm gonna film a little bit of a journey. So I was really fortunate to find this horrendous thing. It is, believe it or not, a 77 JMP 2203. It's the 2-input model, effectively the first Marshall with a master volume. It's clearly been to hell and back. So this shell is definitely nothing to do with Marshall. This thing is a fucking sticker. I mean, it's just horrendous. But the important bit is the amp itself is really clean, no mods. There's a few little bumps on the faceplate there, but everything is okay. So what we're going to do is get rid of this horrendous thing and get a proper head shell for it, and I think we'll get some new knobs for it too, and just give it a bit of a once over. But I've plugged her in. She sounds great. She sounds absolutely amazing. So you can see there, Mark II, master volume, 100 watt. It is crazy loud. I've been informed it's been hardwired to 240 volt and hardwired to 16 ohms. So we might think about removing those hard wires there, but nothing wrong with it. It's got a nice IEC plug. Serial numbers still readable. Still got a little bit of a original back plate on it, but we'll definitely get rid of this thing and yeah, bring her back to sort of Marshall look. So let's tear her apart and get rid of this horrendous thing on her and see how she goes. Right, so we've got the front and the back plate removed. Everything looks to be pretty original. If dust is an indication of originality, then it's pretty original. The blue filter caps are all there, which I believe are a good thing. Don't think the transformers need to get it out, but at the moment everything's looking good. So the inspection date, if you can see, 25th of October 77. So it's definitely a 77. And yeah, looking pretty clean. There's no scratches. Everything looks to be right, but out there in internet land, you know, let me know if anything looks a bit strange or unexpected. But so far, everything looking good. All right, next step, let's get it out of this horrible head shell and we can have a good look inside. Okay, we finally got her out of that horrible thing. So let's have a look at what's going on here. And again, yell out, guys, if you see anything that looks unusual or unexpected. Like I said, what we do need to call out is, I believe, it's been hardwired for the voltage selector and hardwired for the ohms selector. So we'll think about maybe addressing that, but otherwise it should be fairly stock. If everything goes well. That one definitely doesn't look right. Something's gone amiss there. Might be a replacement knob, I think. So what's that? We've got the base, which feels a little bit weird anyway. It's not sliding around properly. The rest of them are pretty smooth. That one's definitely got a few bumps in it. And we've definitely got something going on there, which is a little bit unusual. Maybe that's a new pot or something, so we might look at replacing that. Certainly works fine, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a little bit not quite right. All right, let's have a good look through it and we'll see if we can uncover anything else. Okay, doing some cleaning. So we've got some of the marks coming off the back there. So some of the muck, which is nice, but a friendly little tip that I found on the internet. You know, we've got texture markers, permanent marker all over the amp. Pretty common for older Marshalls. How do you get rid of it? I kid you not, it actually works. So there was a permanent marker here. It is now gone. So I'm working my way through the next ones. I'll show you when it's all done. Got some lovely minty toothpaste on there at the moment, just doing its thing. And hopefully all of these permanent markers should be gone in a few minutes, thanks to, brought to you by Colgate. Let's see how this goes. So as we promised, guys, a little bit of toothpaste cleans up your Marshall amp. So yeah, all the permanent marker pretty much gone. It's close enough, it'll do for now. It's a rough amp anyway, so you know, a few scratches and marks and things won't hurt it, but yeah, it's come up really well. So there's the lesson for the day. All right, so that is the journey, and so here we are today. So let's have a bit of a listen and see how she sounds. What do we do? We're running it through the stir reactive load into the Axe effects, just for a speaker impulse response. You know, this is classic rock. This is like mid-70s JMP. Going to be running it through I think it's a basket weave IR, so like a 25 watt sort of speaker type thing. It's really, that's what you want with the JMP, isn't it? It's that sort of classic sound. So look, I'm going to turn the gains down just a tiny bit just to get us started. What we have is two inputs, a high and a low. We've replaced all the knobs, replaced the head shell, got a new logo on there, just given it a bit of a spit and a polish and cleaned it up. So without further ado, nothing fancy here. JMP, Les Paul, it's classic rock, isn't it? So look, we're running with most of these sort of early Marshall amps. They get a little bit boomy when you turn them up. So we are running presence is on about 7, bass is on 2. Middle and treble on about 6 and 7, master's halfway, preamp is halfway. Now I'm not going to touch the master, but I'll turn the preamp up for you and let you hear that. Notes there, but anyway, so you hear that certainly gives it a little bit of a grind, and yeah, let's turn the master up. So ideally, that classic rock sound is these amps running almost flat out, or most of the time flat out. The problem is they are stupidly loud, and will kill everything within a 2-mile radius. So that's where the things like the Sir reactive load, the Freyet power stations, the new Boss amp thingy. Sorry, I've forgotten what it's called, but hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. The Boss Waza amp thing is basically it's a load resistor. So you can plug the amp in, you can turn it up flat out. And then run a line out into, a nice quiet amp or even into your studio. Keeps the volumes manageable, so that's obviously what we're doing here. So anyway, let's turn the master up. So yeah, sounds great, that's classic rock. Haven't touched any of the EQ controls. Might turn the presence up just a tiny bit, I don't know, let's just see what the hell it does. There you go. So yeah, JMP. Let's quickly chuck a Strat in and see how she sounds. Yeah, so just going to quickly play a bit of a Strat. Got a custom shop Strat here. Do have a bare knuckle mule pickup in the bridge. It's a sort of more classically sounding sort of PAF type of humbucker thing, so it's not hot at all. Got Fender custom shop pickups in the neck and the bridge, so good old single coil stuff. So yeah, let's have a bit of a listen. We'll start on the bridge. we might leave it there. So 77 JMP.